do the bombable wall. Won't be able to get any further. Need a hammer to do anything else in that dungeon. Luckily for Remote, it's going to find a bunch of these pod small keys before actually hopping into pod. We'll make one trip out of it. Not one trip to complete it. Don't have a bow or a hammer, but one trip to do a lot in there. Also has a potion. Could choose to potion glitch off to the right side. I assume Remote also knows how to mimic clip, but having the potion will make that a little bit simpler.
Yeah, just unfortunate that you're burning a blue for it.
Jewel finishing up in Eastern Palace. The 4 items you can there. We'll head out and hopefully we'll grab the sword pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any connectors that Julo hasn't taken in CAC, so hopefully he does not get tempted by any of those.
And Remote heading to the right side is going to break through, drain some magic, so this blue potion will actually do something. By drinking that potion as you're moving left to that corridor, you manage to decouple the camera and shove that red mimic off the screen, and the game thinks you killed it.
I was gonna say, I like the little use of the sword to get rid of the 2 green mimics instead of trying to get them off screen as well. A lot easier than trying to get all 3 and clipping that red against the pot.
Yeah, with Master Sword and above, you can set up a spin, or even with Tempered, you can just do a slash and kill those screen guards in one hit. So it's a little bit faster than trying to push them, trying to lock that red mimic in behind a pot and then push the green mimics to the left side of the screen.
Meanwhile, Julo does get that first sword, so just a bit behind Ramon on that, but, you know, both runners trying to just get as many checks in as they can right now.
Yeah, we'll get to see...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm curious to see how Ramon's going to handle the back of pod here, knowing that it's just a pendant. Do you do Harmless Hellway here?
I think you do Harmless Hellway, and then you bomb jump and get the 2 items out of Dark Maze. And just don't worry about the rest of it until you either start running out of locations and have another pod small, or things line up to where it starts to make sense to go back here. But I think of the 3 places you can use this key, Harmless Hellway makes the most sense, because then you can just walk back around and do your hammer jump without worrying about any ancilla from drops from the helmet swords in that room.
Yeah.
There's a hook shot in Harmless Hellway. That is blocked by 6 pod smalls.
Yeah, that is a huge find. Once again, it's, you know, this is kind of the danger of cross keys is, you know, Julo, I might disagree with some of Julo's decisions routing wise, but his, like, the plays are just not working out for him either. Although Mirror's nice.
Mirror is definitely very nice, and that is a location that I know a lot of cross keys runners just really despise. It's really hard to loop in that man under the bridge with anything else.
And Ramon having to be really careful here, needs to get this on this attempt. Does get it.
Does get it. We'll have to be careful in Dark Maze. Doesn't want a Death Warp just until he gets these 2 chests. While you are able to see some stuff with the Lamper, you can turn a corner and walk right into one of these enemies. Does get both these chests out and is going to take a nice quick Death Warp out, though. And that mirror, though, is a really nice tool, not only for mobility in dungeons, but for accessing a ton of locations that Julo knows that we have access to. He's seen an entrance on Ganon's Tower, so we're able to check out Tower Hera. We'll be able to check out what's on that Ether tablet, and we'll be able to walk over and take a look at what's on the east side of both Dark and Light Death Mountain, areas that Ramon just does not have access to right now.
And there's a first bottle for Julo.
Gonna get one extra entrance on Ramon's side that Julo was not able to see on this trip over here.
Gonna wait on Swamp Palace for now.
Yeah, no reason to do it until it's the last entrance, unless unless Under the Rock is a connector somewhere. Then you'll do Swamp first. No reason to leave a cave like Mini Moldarm and 5 items and leave a hammer in there.
Yeah, never.
Big Keep Turtle Rock, it's a nice find. More information with that Misery Mire map. And another big key, Skull Woods. That one's a less great.
But we are going to get that second chest from Ramon here. See if we get anything of value out.
Just some bombs, so no hammer hiding in swamp for our runners.
Interesting thing here, you know, as you mentioned, the 2 biggest items, or 2 of the biggest items we found in this seed, both locked by a lot of small keys. 4 TR smalls for the flute and 6 pod smalls for hookshot. So 2 items that you expect to need in a seed, and we do know we need that hookshot logically, and they're locked by so much.
Yeah, the flute is a little less worrisome. It's very nice to have and can be your only way into the Misery Mire area, but it's less of a hard requirement, more just a very, very good convenience item. This hookshot being locked behind 6 pod smalls, though, is very, very interesting. And with this TR big key, Ramon is able to make it all the way to Laser Bridge now. Get 4 more checks down there.
Ramon giving us some hookshot action for the invincibility for a bit, and is also going for the heart tubes.
Yeah, definitely not going to blame Ramon for taking that extra health going into Laser Bridge. No boots. Skips are still possible. Actually find them easier without the boots than with myself, but one of these laser hits is going to deal 3 hearts of damage.
We also find bombos. Oh, so we found Sick Kid, by the way.
Yeah, Sick Kid sitting at Death Mountain Descent. But on Laser Bridge, we found powder and bombos and an ice rod. And we find the back of TR dumps out on Floating Island. So that is a not very convenient location in terms of getting to the boss. But that will be a convenient location for finding out what is on Floating Island and getting access to these East Death Mountain entrances.
And look at that. There's Spike Cave over on the eastern side of Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible place for it. Hookshot Cave. This is a good place for Hookshot Cave, though. Four items and a way off the mountain for a moment here. We find bombs. A little piece of heart. Another little piece of heart. And another little piece of heart.
Lots a little bit of love. And Hookshot Cave not really helping us too much either. Front of Hookshot Cave being at our King's Tomb.
Yeah, that's just one of those boots lock locations. It makes boots less valuable as a find in terms of locations. You're down to one location that opens. It might actually do something.
I almost thought Ramon was going to give us Hobo real quick, but unfortunately, still not going for it.
I'm going to head into Desert, cut through here. Going to find out that both these entrances will drop him off on Death Mountain. We'll get these two items on the right-hand side first, though. Getting that Misery Mire Big Key.
Which for Ramon would become a full clearable dungeon at this point. You know, we're still missing that third Mire Small, but at this point, I really don't see the value. You know, this is a dungeon you go in and you clear.
Yeah, once you find it. Mon getting dropped out of Ganon's Tower. Gonna give us a save and quit.
Interesting thing here is I'm looking over what we've done and what we have left, and the one thing I'm starting to find is I think this mirror could be the big piece required at this moment, and it looks like Ramon is going for Hobo. So
Yeah, I think all we have left in terms of cave locations we haven't taken a look at are some of these mirror lock spots: Graveyard Ledge, K45.
oh, sorry, I misspoke. East Death. Well, depends on how quick or how much you want to prioritize logic, I guess. Because technically, Ramon could get over to all of East Death Mountain.
Yeah, with this mirror, there's gonna be a ton of locations over there. Both our runners can, honestly.
Well, I was going to say Ramon specifically for the hook shot over to the west
yeah.
side, or the east
Getting-
side.
Getting that mirror, though, will have free access to a lot of stuff now. And Jules gonna grab this Burna. This makes sense. Spike Cave is certainly a thing. No reason not to grab an item that'll make that check easier once you get to it.
And Julo finding the worst entrance in all of Entrance Rando. At least in my opinion. I don't know. I could be a little biased here, but Spiral Cave is terrible.
It's not good, and it is a very bad location considering its opening is in that mirror-locked left side of Maze Race. So having to choose whether you're going to take this one item or continue with your mirror checks in the southwest of the Hyrule Definitely reasons to do either one. Ends up dropping him at another mirror lock location, checkerboard cave. Jula finally going to get back to Hera, and we'll get that sword now.
To your point, Tyler Salt, I actually think sometimes, like, watching these runners, you know, they're very quick to their clicks on, it looks like, their entrances. So I think they are actually, there was kind of that moment of disbelief for Julo, at least, of kind of saying, do I want to go through this right now? Like, that was the impression I got from that play.
Yeah, this is more. I think it was more of an analysis. Do I want to check this one load, get this one item, and figure out where my connectors are? Because there's still connectors. We've not seen a way onto to Turtle Rock Bridge, which is a very important connector to find. We also have not found a way onto Desert East, which is a very bad connector to find. So I think there is some value in checking the connector over continuing on there. Get our first look at Catfish. This is probably the second worst location in Cross Keys.
Feels especially bad when it really doesn't give you anything.
Yeah, never really a good time to check it, and never really a good way to get there. Julo's found Aghanim's Tower. Let's get a find that small key and move on and grab that can of Samaria. So
You know, our remote is going to give us the top of Hyrule Castle, so we are going to get 3 new entrances here. By the way, I know we talked about that 4-key requirement for Turtle Rock for that flute. We are at 3 keys, so we're close to it.
yeah, we are a lot closer to that flute being in logic than we are to this hook shot. Julo getting that cane of Samari. It's going to continue on. Looks like we're going to take a look at Southwest Dark World on his side. Already did check out that left side of Maze Race, so we'll probably move on and do K45 after this. Meanwhile, we find Ganon's Tower on Ramon's side. First 2 checks in Hope Room, 300 rupees and a heart container.
Yeah, very interesting find here on the top of Hyrule Castle. I'm curious to see how we handle this. We've gotten 2 small keys and the big key. If you feel like mimic clipping, we could do the climb. We have enough equipment to do it. Not exactly ideal, but I'm not sure how you want to approach it. The other piece, of course, is what do we see here on right side? You know, do we see the bomb jump?
We're certain you're not here if you're not wanting to do the bomb jump. I don't think you've been bothered with Tower Room if you're not wanting to do a bomb jump. I guess he does have the mirror out, though, so this is not going to be a bomb jump. Just some bombs. I'm going to take a look at what's on the torch.
Yeah, I think just given the location of GT in this case, you almost assume you have to go do that check. Because right now, there's just not much else you can do here.
Maybe we check these other 2 entrances, see if there's anything there. There's a connector sitting in Aghanim's Tower.
Meanwhile, we're getting Bombo's tablet from Julo, and it is our mushroom.
We have seen the magic shop, so that is a fairly accessible thing for Julo to turn in. A little harder for him to get to magic shop, not having the flute. And there is that connector to Desert Palace East.
You warned, and we found it.
Yeah. So Mirror is going to be required to get into Ganon's Tower today, which we do have to do because we do have to beat Ganon.
Now, the one nice thing here is if you're close to go mode and you're like one item away, you can very easily just say, go to GT, climb GT, kill Aga 2, and hope to find go mode. And if you don't, mirror
Just
from
go
the
back
top
into
of the
GT.
pyramid. Exactly.
Yeah, it is a very convenient location for GT in that regard.
And Ramon is going to give us the Spec Rock check as well. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get the drop down here.
No, there's way too much stuff to do. Although the drop down side of Spectral Rock sounds like a good place for a connector to go over to Rock Ledge.
And maybe even checking the bomb jumping to the other side to see if maybe you can find sequence break something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the connectors we've seen. We have not seen either side of the brothers. We've not seen the other two connectors into Spec Rock. We've not seen the back of Bump. We've not seen the front of Turtle Rock. We've not seen the back of Bumper Cave. I think that's it.
I don't think we've seen the front of Super Bunny, but we already know where the back is, so who cares?
Yeah, and you can't have the front of Super Bunny be your way on to Turtle Rock Ledge. So.
Now, all those glove lock checks that Julo unfortunately wasn't able to do earlier is able to return to now, so able to couple these in with the mirror, so not the worst case for him. But Ramon is leaving this pod entrance. Curious. Okay, so he is mirroring here at Eastern to check this entrance. Oh, duh. No, this
He's been in here. Let's check. Yeah, he'll check the third entrance, and I don't think we've seen this entrance either yet from either runner. The wrong part of Turtle Rock to come out at. To get to look at this entrance in Fairy Ascension and both sides of it, which are a little hard to get to without a glove or without the mitts. Library just having a piece of heart.
Plus side here is that when Ramon finds or finishes this up, it's going to be a lot easier to decide what to do if we mirror to the mirror on top of Dark Death Mountain and which drop down to take.
Yeah, we'll have all of this cleared out. We'll just be easily to choose Spiral Cave at that point. Not a lot on this side of Death Mountain, though.
Yeah, just that Northern Desert Palace entrance, and without Big Key, not a huge help. But there's the Brothers Connector.
Mirror in hand, Ramon believes this is going to be... no, that's not what we want to be. Brothers Ascension today.
Yeah, apparently. And Ramon also going to turn in the Skullwoods Big Key and the powder most likely.
Yep. Get a couple checks in here. It's a not super convenient, but the best time to do these.
Yeah, it's looking more and more like we want to take that dark. We want to end up at the top of Dark Death Mountain on the floating island at this point.
Yeah, we don't know what that item is yet. We'll find out once one of these runners gets back to that entrance.
And that is actually a logical check right now with the 3 TR smalls. Getting 2 laser bridge to come out on Dark, the floating island, is in logic right now. So, not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more reasonable for Julo to get back up there, considering Julo's not seen Laser Bridge yet. For Ramon, you're literally making this walk of a good minute and a half just for the connector and just for the item. Especially since you already have Desert taking up to Ganon's Tower. If you just wanted those entrances, you can get there a lot quicker.
So, Julo does turn in that mushroom. I'm going to assume he's going to start heading there, but is going to at least go check out the catfish first. Meanwhile, Ramon is going to give the rest of these mirror checks.
Yeah, chat bringing up a good point. It might make more sense to go through Desert for Ramon and peek at Floating Island, see what's there, and then decide whether you have to actually go back through Turtle Rock to get it. It also makes a lot more sense if Ramon finds Fire Rod and can kill Trinix while he's up there.
Well, on that subject, if you had Fire Rod and you went back and you wanted to get to Laser Bridge for those checks, are you killing Trinix? Because killing Trinix puts you at the front door of TR now.
Well, no, you do your Floating Island check. So you're going to do, if you're Ramon's seat, you're going to do your fire. You're going to peek at Floating Island and then go get that item when you go kill Trinix. If it's something that isn't needed before then, and if it is needed before then you're very sad. Chilo's going to find Ganon's Tower here in a moment.
Oh, and we are going to get that K45 check from Ramon here before going through Spiral Cave. Realizing it's kind of a one-way connector for him right now and saying, wait a minute, I kind of want to know. So what did Julo leave behind here? It is the other side of Bumper Cave.
Side of Bumper Cave. So nothing there. And Ramon's going to walk it back up and take a look at Spiral Cave, get that in there. There really is nothing more exciting than Boots the Spiral Cave.
Alongside Tile Room at that.
Strap in for some high-octane gaming right now.
Yeah, and the most recent thing brought up is we do have access now to Ice Palace, and that might just be our best play at the moment.
Yeah, sad but true. And Julo also grabbing Tile Room and nothing more. Not even taking a look at the torch.
Kind of surprising, but I mean, I guess with how little you feel you have left, it's not the worst idea, but I really think you should check it. Because there's always that opportunity for a hammer on torch, and then you forget it.
Yep. Yeah. It's a little bit of a time spend to go take a look at that torch. And with GT being in the location it's at, that is really not a lot of fun to get to.
Yeah, not at
I
all.
would have spent the time to actually go take a look at that item, even though we know it's not much of anything. Finding bombs and turning for the witch hut. Gonna buy some potions. A potion for his 1 bottle.
I thought maybe we'd get to see Ramon go towards the Hera entrance and Ether Tablet, but instead is heading back here for, looks like, okay, gonna take the
This
Desert
is the-
Palace entrance
yeah.
to the top. Yep. Nope,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a peek at those. Get a peek at Floating Island. Gonna get a look at the 3 entrances on top of Death Mountain, 2 in the dark, 1 in the light, and then we've already seen Spiral Caves, so don't need to hop down there. And yeah, you get to look at Hera. You get to look at Hera this way and the tablet. So this works out really well for Ramon.
Now, Julo did decide to drop down in the Spec Rock, and there's another pod small, so we are just 1 pod. Oh!
Yeah, this
Hey.
is the connector. This is Turtle Rock ledge. You can look at 3 locations here. We know that this is just the connector downstairs. But we'll also get a look at Mimic Cave, this is the only way into Mimic Cave.
I think we saw Mimic Cave, actually. That was our last Hyrule Castle entrance, actually.
Oh, well, then that's no good.
Yeah, Hyrule Castle West is at Mimic Cave. So.
A small key sitting on Floating Island. Of the small keys that we still need, maybe it's a Castle Tower key. Maybe it's one of the Turtle Rock or Pod keys that puts these items into logic, but isn't really required. That is a dicey thing to try and go all the way through Laser Bridge to pick up.
Yeah, given that we're just 1 pod small or 1 TR small from these important items on Ramon's side being in logic, and at this point, I think you feel that it's very likely one of them is that key. Not that either item's really given us anything. Hookshot really hasn't led to much. Maybe we find a bow soon, and that kind of gives us a hint.
Yeah, we still have a lot of entrances that are locked by either mitts or boots or various other things, and haven't found a Misery Mire. Haven't found. I think that's the only dungeon we have not found.
Thieves Town.
Thieves Town. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't found. We haven't found the back of Skull. We haven't found Thieves or Mire. And we haven't checked our front door of Turtle Rock yet.
We might see Julo do that in this trip. Julo's going to go and take a look at Laser Bridge. We'll find that entrance on the Floating Island, and we'll be able to take a look at that key immediately.
And yeah, while we don't have a connector to the Mire area, I think we might find the mitts first at this rate. Mitts might be our access. Like, that could be the pod small, and then we're going to find Mitts not too soon after. And there's Mire area for us.
Yeah, it's a potential. It's also a potential that this hook shot is meant for Ice Palace. And that one chest 3 hammer. Our runners don't actually need to have the hook shot to get that item with an icebreaker, but that could be what our hook shot is logically doing for us now that we found Bombos.
Yeah, and Ramon is going to give us that last small key item check in pod here.
There's the second castle tower small locked in behind all 6 pod keys. So we know we won't find a pod small sitting in the well.
And our floating island key is a turtle rock small. That is flute.
Julo is gonna head to these 2 entrances, not head back into can't head back into Turtle Rock from Laser Bridge. It doesn't make any sense, but that's all 4 Turtle Rock balls. Hopefully it points him to that flute sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's the big asset Ramon has had for this whole race now. Like, I feel like we're going on an hour of flute access here. And I like this play from Ramon here. Going to head over to where we know the potion shop is at Dark Pegs 5, turn in the mushroom, and then flute back to check it.
Yeah, this is a very heads-up play.
And honestly, I think the play at this point is I'd probably do a save and quit, start at the mountain, jump into Ice Palace, and if I find boots, I'm going to Castle Tower. If I find hammer, to the races.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like Ice Palace is where the goods are at.
So Ramon is going to give us the checkout here of that Spec Rock drop as well. We do know that, of course, that leads to the TR Bridge. Meanwhile, Julo is just going to go for some return to Kakariko checks. Specifically, going to give us the Eastern Turtle Rock entrance with the big chest. So probably heading towards the front. So this should lead to the flute for Julo. And here we go. Ramon starting at the old man. And yep, here we go. This is Ice Palace time on Ramon's side. He knows this is probably a good play. I think the only thing that he cannot or hasn't checked really at this point is front of Turtle Rock. So we'll see which one leads to it as we get simultaneous casts of the Bombos medallion. But incoming flute for Julo. And here we go with new information on Ramon's side with Ice Palace. He does have a small key, so potentially we'll get a icebreaker. First up, just $50 though. So Ramon is heading back. Is this a switch hit or is it for the bomb jump? It is just for the switch, so.
Yeah, this makes sense. You have a key. You can mirror out if you get stuck. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and this, if he gets the hammer here, it does set himself up to clear Ice Palace. And just the compass there in that first check of Turtle Rock. We do get a small key to Tower of Hera in the Icebreaker locked side.
Never really want to see that.
So the whole logic here with ice breaking is just because we have a small key, so you're not going to be locked here on the right side anyway, and can still get to the rest.
Oh,
and there it is,
oh.
Hammer in Ice Palace.
And that one small key does mean it isn't the hook shot was not required for that hammer, but that is a dirty place for it.
We've got a big key to Eastern Palace.
So Bombos and Laser Bridge get you your Hammer and Ice Palace, a true Cross Keys classic.
And it took a while, but there we go. This seed is opened up a lot.
For Julo Ninja and Mogliacci fans, though, it shouldn't be too much longer for Julo to make his way to Ice Palace. I can't imagine he has that much more to do.
I think the only real question on Julo's side is, do we see him maybe go after some of those pod checks anytime soon? Because he did, he still has some checks in pod. He's got an extra couple of keys now. But we're getting him to go into the library first. So going to go through that connector.
And there's our last pod small, so that is logical hook shot.
Yeah, Julo just working on, cleaning up the last few entrances here.
Has Julo seen Ice Palace yet?
Yes.
I know he was very late to the gloves.
Yeah, when he got the glove, he checked both the Death Mountain Ascent and front of Bumper. So he did get both of those knocked out in one little check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. We do have, between all the small keys, both our flute and our hookshot are in logic now. And, this has been wow, that cross between Master Sword and Hammer from Ramon. Really excellent kill of Cold Stare. And I'm kind of surprised here, but I'll say it, at an hour 24, we got our first crystal.
Yeah. This has been a very slow building seed in terms of getting things you need to beat these dungeons. But this hammer is going to roll into Swamp, which is in a pretty terrible location, so it might not be where Ramon takes this immediately. But that's about where I would head next, is Swamp Palace is the thing that's opened up the most by the hammer.
Yeah, I think, and it looks like Ramon is heading there, going to use the Whirlpool here over by Dark, or between our Dark Sanctuary and the Dark Potion Shop to head to Shopping Mall.
Yep.
And I think you almost take that directly into left side GT. Like, that just feels like our next best location from our runners.
Yeah.
Or at least for Ramon. And it looks like Julo's heading there now, so...
Yeah, so Julo's going to have that hammer very shortly as well. So this is, for all of the routing differences between these two runners, it's actually a pretty close race right now. It's only a couple minutes difference getting into Ice Palace.
Well, and the big question here is, while Ramon, looks a little ahead and Julo's going to catch up, the big question here, of course, is when does Julo head back to pod? because that hook shot becoming more and more important.
Yeah, that especially if there's something here in Swamp. But the locations that are open by him are both very much require the hook shot as well.
And Julo is also going to give us an icebreaker, so both runners realizing with that one small key, this is not a bad idea.
Jewel makes it through as Ramon finds the leg shield in the compass loop.
That is a dirty lie about that shield. It is a completely adequate use of an item. Yeah, recently it was discovered that the true issue with Mirror Shield has more to do with the fact that you usually have a lot of hearts to go along with it, and that causes a lot of lag. So
so what you're saying is Mirror Shield did nothing wrong?
It's not entirely its fault. It's just by the time you get Mirror Shield, you also usually have a ton of health. And the combination of the two is not good.
Just don't 100% your seeds, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, avoid shields at all costs. It's good. But we are going to get left side, so we are going to see a full clear of Swamp Palace, at least as much as we can. Unfortunately, you know, this will be a second dungeon. We have to leave behind a big chest.
Yeah, this and pod. There's our bow, so that's gonna open up pod and completion. It is a pendant, so if Julo can get to that bow, but without the hook shot,
still missing the big key though.
We are still missing the big key. That's true.
Although that does mean that Julo could complete Eastern Palace if he goes immediately to Swamp, and climb GT without the ability to finish that off either.
That all sounds gross.
Yeah,
I don't like any of those options for Julo.
No, that hookshot is really the problem. Hopefully, you know, I don't know what to say is the good choice here if I'm in Julo's shoes. We are unaware of Eastern Palace's status. We do know that Palace of Darkness is our green pendant, and that Skull is a pendant. We are just waiting to find out which one is our last pendant right now.
Yeah, one thing we have not gotten from either of these runners is much in the way of map checks, and there's the pod big key hook shot locked. So thank goodness that's a pendant. But that is definitely means that Jewel is never going to find a big key to push him back into pod.
So cross keys versus key sanity. Cross keys does have key sanity in it, so our map's compasses, smalls, and bigs are all shuffled. But the cross part of cross keys is that it is a cross world entrance shuffle. What this means is that pretty much all the entrances are shuffled, but if you go in a connector in Light World and go out the other end of that connector, you could end up in Dark World.
Yeah, if any of our watchers are familiar with the Zelda 1 rando, it's probably the closest experience you'll see to that game's randomizer, where anything can be anywhere essentially. We find our swamp map on Argus to let us know it's a crystal as the crystal falls.
Awesome combination.
It's crystal number 2 for Ramon, as Julian picks up his first crystal out of Ice Palace.
And Ramon going for a swim. I imagine this is back to the pyramid. Or not.
Might be quicker to flute there, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure what's quicker. Maybe this is still the pyramid and just wants to approach from the north instead of the south. Yeah, it looks like this is just approaching from the north instead.
Yep. So this is that's gonna be a look at GT now for Ramon. Did not find boots or any other things to open up entrances. Really, we're really looking for entrances at this point. We do need a fire rod potentially. We don't know if it rocks our last pendant or not. But we do need to find Thieves Town and Mire. We know we're gonna have to beat at least one of those.
Yeah, and it's just looking more and more like we'll need... Oh, I didn't even realize it. Julo giving us a Mimic Cave, and there's another sword.
Yeah, Tempered Sword is a very nice upgrade for Master Sword in terms of some of these boss fights, and in the Ganon fight as well. There's another GT small. GT, there's those mitts that you were talking about, expecting to find here. So mitts opens up the Misery Mire area along with Ice Palace.
And it looks like I spoke too soon on Julo's side. Instead of going to Swamp Palace, he is back into Pod with all of those keys.
Yeah, this is going to work out really well for Jill. Going to find that hook shot and keep pace here. Still a little bit behind, but definitely something that can be made up with a location of this Thieves Town Big Key if it's required, or even a Desert Palace Big Key if that's required. The more Julo keeps on the path, the closer this race stays, and the more that these big keys that may be required are going to help keep this close.
So the funny thing is we've gotten 2 small keys in GT. So that is all of our GT smalls. All of GT's in logic now, at least except for the right side.
Correct. And there's that fire rod, so now the right side's in logic as well, and choices.
Full clear GT bonanza.
Yeah, that fire rod means that every boss is in logic now, barring big keys, obviously. From an item perspective, we're not looking for anything else item-wise. Oh, that is a savvy damage boost on Ramon's side to get across that bridge.
Yeah, that's the second one he's done, because he did one on the other side as well. And did Julo not get hookshot again? Oh wait, he did.
No, he got it. He got hookshot.
I got scared there for a second.
And we're heading straight to Swamp Palace on Julo's side. There's Ice Palace Big. That one's not required. Ice Palace Small. And a Misery Mire Small. So 3 keys, none of which are really needed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the everything else for Ice Palace was locked behind a dip of Ice Palace. And yep, here we go. Right side of GT now for Ramon.
Yeah, Ramon's going to clear this entire thing out. Going to do the right side and then make the climb. No better time than now to do that.
Yeah, just given how bad this position is for GT, I think you have to. And Ramon continues to give us these nice little damage boosts. I don't know if all these are intentional, but they look really nice at every step.
Ramon was trying to conserve magic a bit, using lamps for the first two torches in the right side room there. Did get a little unlucky with that Samaria block.
And that is a full clear of the basement. All 23 items down there have been seen. But honestly, at this point, I mean, you finish GT, you know, you open that up, and then I think we head to the Mire area, see if we can find Thieves Town. Can we find Mire?
Yeah, I mean, we know that one of the Boots Lock locations or two of the Boots Lock locations have already been discovered. The rocks behind Link's house and King's Tomb have already been shown to be connectors going other places, but there's still two other locations that are Boots Lock that could be dungeon entrances. So it isn't a guarantee that we have all of our dungeon knowledge yet. There are several locations we're going to get between Mire and mirroring back into Desert. We're going to get, I think, 5 or 6 entrances squared off there. Yeah, at this point, it's hard to see where Julo is going to find an entrance that Ramon is going to put off. Maybe a decision to climb Castle Tower for the 5 items as well, but that's kind of a stretch to choose that over all the information you're going to have once you get done with Ganon's Tower.
Yeah. I mean, until we even have boots, like, why would we even go after Aga Tower at this point?
Exactly. And yeah, really the only thing that could be there is one of our big keys at this point.
Will be interesting to also see if Ramon does head back towards the Swamp Palace entrance for Mimic Cave for that Tempered Sword.
That one, I can't see him going there.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets tempered there. And really nice full magic refill there off of Wizrobes 2. Not only are they the most satisfying rooms in the game, sometimes they are the most helpful.
Depending on what item pool those enemies are in. Although I think in Huskies it is still fully random drops, I'm not sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cross Key's still in a little bit of an old version of the random in some regards, so some of those rules that we're used to now might not be in effect. For example, key logic is one of them.
First 2 chests upstairs, a big old nothing. But we did already get Mitts and Fire Rod out of Ganon's Tower, so it's a lot to expect anything else in here. There's a big key. That's Thieves Town. That might be required. We still don't know if Thieves Town is going to be required or not.
And honestly, since we haven't found Thieves Town, we've got the Thieves Big and the Thieves Small. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, make one trip out of that dungeon. That's one of those dungeons that you're always happy to do in one shot if you can. And a heart container in our last chest, and Ramon is going to move on to Agnum too.
Yeah, we're, you know, for as slow as we had to go at the early stages of this seed, we are really starting to accelerate here. You know, you're starting to look at dungeons and clearing them rather than the opposite of just like, I don't know what I can even do.
Nice triple setup for Ramon there. Agnum 2 being very friendly in this fight. I had definitely seen fights where you will be taking a lot longer on this than Ramon does. A quick 3-2-1.
Yeah, that's a really nice pattern set for that. So nicely done. And Julo finished up Swamp Palace does do the save and quit. We'll see where he heads next.
This is a castle tower play?
A bootsless castle tower play is quite surprising, I'll be honest.
This is, yeah, very, very surprising. You can't get to those items yet without, Well, where was Eastern Palace at?
Kakariko Village, right side of the old lady house. The double.
Could we see an Arnold Shake storage from that location?
That would be a play, and I don't know. Is this also Jewel saying, I probably need to do this and I want to get back to GT quickly?
Possibly.
Like, I'm trying to figure out Julo's decision here, and those are the only things that I think you and I, with our experience are picking out, so...
This is going to be an interesting decision if we do find that well has something, but without boots, the shake storage glitch may be possible from Kakariko. It's not that far of a walk. I think that is doable.
And yeah, we do have Thieves Town here on Ramon's side, so... As we find the big key to Swamp Palace. Oh my gosh, we keep finding all the bad big keys.
Do see that Thieves Town is a crystal, which is very nice. Leaves still a lot of dungeons we don't have information on.
Yeah, Eastern Desert Hair and Turtle Rock. Those are all of our unknowns still.
Yeah, we do need big keys for Desert and Turtle Rock, so we're still at least one big key away from being...
we have the big key to Turtle Rock.
Oh, we do have the big key to Turtle Rock, so we may be in item go mode. We don't know yet.
Yeah, and realistically, Ramon is going to probably find Myra in this area soon. We've still got another 3 entrances here. But Julo has reached Aga, is going to give us our Aga fight.
See how cooperative Aghanim is with these blue projectiles. Three at least, as we're into third cycle. It is just 3.
Merciful end to that fight.
Yeah, I don't hate this play from Julo. If you think you're going to find boots in Ganon's tower. Like you said, you get dropped off right here to hop into Ganon's tower, and then if you do find boots in here, which unfortunately we know it's not going to, but then you can immediately go back and check Lumberjack and get those 5 items.
Yeah, and if you're right with the shake storage being the goal here, could work out nicely as well for Julo. So we'll see what his decision is.
Yeah, I think the shake storage is like a plan B here, from Julo's perspective. But it's not a bad one. Half magic in the basement of Thieves Town.
That's fine for Ramon for sure, given still on Master Sword.
Yeah, will definitely be helpful in the Ganon fight. But other than that, in that big key to ice or to swamp, nothing of much note here in Thieves Town.
So we do have a question in chat about what is shake storage. What are we talking about here? James, you seem a little bit more knowledgeable than I do. I'm aware of the goal here, but how does it work?
So there is a glitch in the Armos Night that causes the screen to shake if you exit it at a very specific point. And then you can keep that state and run into something, and it'll count it as a ball. Which, for most parts, is really not all that useful, except if you have Lumberjack open and don't have boots. You can then just walk into the tree, and it counts as a bonk and knocks the tree open for you.
Yeah, this glitch does not get seen too often. I don't think I've seen a race in a tourney setting where this usually happens.
No, it's very, very rare.
Yeah.
But this is a situation where things could line up for it.
So our Mire Cave is nothing. Oh, I was like, what is Ramon doing? Oh, we're gonna get Tower Hera.
Yeah. Don't have the big key, but don't care because we got a hook shot. We go from discussing the most niche of rando glitches into the least niche of rando glitches, the hair pot. Everyone has their own little setup for this. I think there's like 10 or 12 different. All of the setups are pixel perfect, but there's various different pixels that you can be on to get knocked into that pot, and then you use your hook shot to clip in.
Yeah, and that's one of the newer ones. After the traditional, and I'll call them traditional, but after a lot of the other Harapot versions were kind of discovered, that one, now referred to as the Philly pot, is almost the simplest in terms of the fact that only the bomb placement is pixel perfect. The placement after that is actually really forgiving.
Jill about to get the Ice Palace care package.
Meanwhile, down goes Moldorm, and it is a pendant.
It is a pendant, so we do need that desert big key.
So there we go. That does fill in our crystal information. We know now that Eastern, Desert, and Turtle Rock are all our last 3 crystals.
So if we don't find Misery Mire in this area, where does that leave us? It leaves us with Ice Palace and Boots Lock locations, if I remember, if I have got everything marked down.
Turtle Rock entrance, back of Skull Woods, I think, as well.
Ah, yes.
Not that any of these locations are great.
No, none of them are particularly good at all. I think Ice Palace is probably the simplest of these bad locations. And this is, it's not Misery Mire, but it is a lot of items. Oh, Desert Palace Big Key. All right, so Ramon is only looking for entrances now.
Yeah, we are missing Mire and back of Skull Woods for go mode now.
Ramon may still need boots to get to one of those entrances, but that's all we need here.
Yeah, and since we're missing 2, it just feels like we're gonna need them at this rate.
We're having a bit of an adventure here in the Gauntlet.
And yet, Ramon is going to give us just some quick checks of entrances. There's Super Bunny Bottom. Oh, we also have Hammer Pegs. And the Village of Outcast Hammer House.
We do have those two entrances that have been out of our radar for a while.
Kind of crazy to think how quickly we went from feeling like we had, like, look at where we were 30 minutes ago versus now. So first up, we do have our peg house here, and it's just the front of Spectacle Rock. And now we're going to get the full hammer pegs.
Cracking one of those potions, make it through this torch room.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get 1.0. I feel like we've seen that too many times in this tournament. And almost always, I feel like every week or so, there's at least one person who gets hit by that glitch. And front of, or the hammer pegs, is the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, that's a pendant, so we're not going to do that. So, still looking for Meyer. East Town big for Julo.
And after all of the abuse towards that worm today, it decided to get a little bit of a payback. Although none of that inflicted by Julo yet. You know, Julo's been kind to Moldworm. Until now.
Yeah, until now. Tempered Sword making quick work of Moldworm.
And I think this is the last entrance, or second to last entrance for Ramon at this point. The one thing we do know is Pyramid Fairy is not the answer.
Yep.
Because Pyramid Fairy is, of course, is locked by our 5-6 crystals, and Myra is one of them.
Turtle Rock entrance up here, and then
only other one is back of Skull Woods.
Back of Skull Woods, yeah.
Yeah. So if not, we might be boots locked for this seed. And I like this approach from Ramon, saying, you know, am I in item go, or am I looking for boots?
Yeah, if you're looking for boots, then you just go back into Skull Wood to get those two items there. It's very quick to get back to with this location as well. So.
And blink and you miss it, Julo also getting a nice 3-2-1, and it is not Turtle Rock.
But you also see Julo's item count, those compasses, they do one thing in cross keys, and they tell you how many items you've gotten out of dungeon. Julo skipped right side. Might loop it back in, because it's right here, but chose to do the climb before right side at least.
I think that might be our first map check today.
I think so as well. And yeah, Julia's going to hop back into GT and do the right side. But before we take a look at Skull Woods, Ramon is going to do this required desert.
Yeah, I mean, you're here, why not? Have half magic, this is an easy fight. And And just 5 rupees off of Landmall.
So that's not our answer in terms of boots, but another crystal down for Ramon as Julo finishes up Turtle Rock, or Ganon's Tower, and we'll see where he heads next.
So I guess the question, if you're Ramon, I don't know. How about Eastern, I guess, next? Knock off another one of my crystals that I know I have to do.
Yeah,
and Spike Cave, why not?
Jula, yeah, Ramon definitely. Jula's got a lot more options here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely want to do one of those 2 dungeons, either Eastern or Turtle Rock. We still have the 2 fire-locked chests in Turtle Rock along with the boss. And you can clean those up really quickly by just going and kill the boss, and then it teleports you right to the front.
So Julo also heading towards the Mire area. Same kind of idea. Let me knock out these checks. Let's find a dungeon. And it looks like Ramon is going to give us the back of Skull Woods. So are we looking for boots?
I have to find out. Did Ramon check the Skullwood's Big yet?
I think so. I want to say he went back for it. Because I remember Julo did.
If he didn't, then he gets to check it here. So this isn't the worst. I don't know if this is nothing. It is Misery Mire, though, so this is go mode.
So yeah, we are in purely a dungeon assault mode here for Ramon. Unfortunately, not the greatest equipment, and he's unlikely to find another sword. Red mail, 14 hearts, half magic. Don't think it's going to be too bad for him.
Yeah. Also, I think has a potion still. Maybe not. I don't know. I know you used one for to get through pod. I don't know if he went and bought more potions or not after that. He's going to check a couple of chests here just to look for a sword or silver or whatever he could find.
And I think at this point, we can say Ramon has a comfortable enough lead that even without the extra sword, he should be fine. Up a crystal or 2 crystals right now. And in go mode, I think he's safe at this point. Even if he doesn't find another.
Yeah, it's not. He does have did see him pop through that inventory. Does have a blue potion, so should be comfortable in all these boss fights. They're gonna be slower than what Julo can do, but I don't know if that's. I don't think that's enough time for Julo to make up just in the difference between Tempered and Master Sword here. Because even in this Victorious fight, Ramon does have that Cane of Burn and can use that for some protection. Should have enough hearts to get through even with Master Sword spins, but does have a safety net if he needs it.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to go with the NMG variant, going with the Master Sword spins, eating a little bit of damage from the acid, and then just stepping in.
Does get popped a bit by Victorious's lightning attack, but that was very, very quick.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, but that looked like, I think that's pretty close to the low percent legacy category kind of strategy. I don't know if Ramon's actually practiced that, or if this is just, knowledge of, hey, I know how to do Master Sword Vidi and no problem.
Is crystal number 4? 5? 5. Crystal number 5 for Ramon. Eastern and Turtle Rock left.
So here we go. Eastern Palace up next. Yeah, in terms of the difference, it is mostly the Aga Tower climb for Julo. I will say the choices that kind of gave Ramon a bit of an early lead. It wasn't massive. Like, I want to say Ramon found Hammer maybe a few minutes before Julo.
Yeah, they were within a couple minutes of each other, heading in Ice Palace. Ramon already had the hook shot at that point and got to kind of push that into a swamp play and into the VT. So I would say Ramon was probably 3 or 4 minutes ahead at that point, and the Aga 1 climb for Julo has added another 3 minutes or so to the lead.
Yeah. And Ramon really heads up, does check Eastern Big Chest, and finds a sword. So, yeah, that's a really great find.
Yeah, that's gonna take out any sort of weapon advantage time difference between these two runners. Definitely checking that chest, looking for boots or silvers or a sword. Does get one of the 3 there. Ramon with the in the circle quick kill setup. I'm not brave enough for that one. It's
Wow.
so good. It's so good.
That is so cool to watch, and I never would have thought to do that. Wow. Truly a beautiful kill there.
And then your Turtle Rock East entrance is right here. So another dungeon to clean up, and then on to Ganon.
Yeah, unfortunately, with that location of Laser Bridge, we have to go through this way.
Yep. And Julo's going to end up doing the same thing here, too, that Ramon did in Clear Tower Hera, because he doesn't know that Tower Hera is a pendant, doesn't have that knowledge.
Laser Bridge was on Floating Island, so yep, no way to get there.
Nice easy hair pop from Julo.
Yeah, and as we said, Julo is not too far behind. You know, just based on what we know, it's not really too far away. It's just, at this point, Ramon really is almost through the rest of this one.
Yeah, if this was the difference like half an hour ago, there might be time for Julo to make it up, but just not enough space to run here.
And of course, Julo killing off Moldorm will give him the last info for our crystal pendants as well.
Very quick assassination of Trinex on Ramon's side. Gets another bottle with some green goo in it, and last crystal. So that's crystal number 7. One last task. That is to go kill Ganon. So we don't get to do any sort of big key guessing game, obviously, in a key sanity mode. One thing we can guess, though, since we haven't found it yet, where's Ganon going to tell us these silvers are at?
Whew. Is it adventurous to say I think there's a good chance it's in Mire right now? Like, I don't know if we have much left.
I
And
think
that
there's a
feels
good
like
chance.
the dentist play.
Yeah, I think Meyer is the safe bet. Turtle Rock could be a funny one.
Yeah, we have a couple of checks still in Turtle Rock that they could have been.
Light World would be a funny one, seeing him up in that lumberjack cave.
Oh yeah, we still have 5 checks there. So Meyer and Light World are 2 kind of biggest options.
Julo check-in does get that gold sword, butter sword. But here we go. Ramon dropping into Ganon. And Ganon giving us fun slug facts. Nice 1-in-1 setup.
Yeah, really well executed there.
Helmasaur King has him today.
So one of our 2 checks in pod was it?
Yep. Yeah, neither runner got to that big chest or went and killed Helmasaur King, but that's where our silvers were. Never going to get those. But with Tempered Sword and Half Magic, this is going to be a very quick and clean fight, getting those triples in. Really advantageous with these teleports and Ganon staying on the left side. Much easier to get triples on that side. And
Yeah.
that is going to do it. Let's get those GGs ready in chat. One bridge cross away from a 2-0 advantage in this best of 5 series.
And there we go. Ramon crossing that bridge and finishing in first with an official time of 2:08:22. GG's to Ramon and Team Skull Kids.
Yeah, just a bad hammer location and a decision which I can totally understand why Julo went and cleared Aghanim 1. Probably felt a little bit behind.
Yeah, I mean, Ramon built up an early lead with the hook and the flute. So the combination of those early definitely put Julo a little behind to the hammer, and at that point you might decide, hey, I need to make this kind of gamble.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, Julo takes down Trinix. This will be his 5th crystal.
We'll get both our runners in here in just a little bit. Julo heading over to Skullwoods. Going to take a look and find Misery Mire there and find out that he is in go mode.
Or I guess maybe the hammerlock locations first.
Yeah.
Understandable. 2 versus 1 entrance. Not a bad decision.
Jill finds the back of Skullwoods. A couple angry slashes and out. Sometimes you just need to show that from who's boss.
And Julo heading towards the back of Skull Woods, so gonna find Meyer momentarily. And there we go. Julo has found the back of, or found Misery Mire. That will be go mode for Julo.
Two looks so smooth when good runners do it.
Yeah.
And then I try it. And then I try and do it.
2 is not always the easiest.
And then I try and do it, and it looks like someone had a broken controller.
I don't even go for it, so... And it does appear that Julo has decided to forfeit the end of this race. I'm guessing he might have peeked the race room real quick, realized what the situation was, and decided to call it there on his end. So get your GGs in chat also for Julo Ninja, putting in a great effort. Not really that far behind overall.
No, not at all. It's just a little bit here and there over the first hour of the seed, and then the choice to do Agnum's Tower. See if Julo wants to come into the chat room, or is just going to so no Julo in here. Let's see, bring Ramond up. And we are joined by our winner today, GG's Ramond.
Hey, GG's.
Well, this was a very slow building seed through the first hour or so. Not you had those 2 items that were very deep in dungeons, the flute and the hookshot, but not a lot going on until you found that hammer in Ice Palace.
Yeah, totally. It was like the hammer basically opened up like everything, and wow, this seed was. I mean, there was that mirror location. I can kind of explain how that happened. At first, I was like, okay, I would. Well, it's a series of events that actually happened. So after I got the flute, I was planning to try to route in Kakariko somehow with other checks. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna swim like southeast from Link's house, check the stuff there, and basically enter the water portal there to like check North Light World and activate the flute. And somehow first I thought I would do hobo on the way, but it's smarter actually to do hobo when you have the flute because you can get out faster. So I swam past, and then afterwards when I routed Zora in from the left side, I was like, nah, it's faster to... I mean, I'm at the bottom left of Lake Hylia. It's better if I like first check Zora because I'm fast to the portal and then do hobo after. And after I was at Zora, I was like, no, I have a lot of stuff open. If I get the mirror sometime, I can do hobo with the pod area checks because I hadn't been to the pod area at the time yet. So I thought to myself, nah, I'm just gonna postpone hobo.
Yeah, it's just a really bad location to ever like loop in. You either have to like make a conscious effort to say, I'm gonna go check this right now, or it just sits there for a while.
Yeah, indeed. And at some point I was like, I just have like a few bad spots left, and it feels like I skipped something, either hobo or duck cross or digging game. So I was intent on doing at least one of those checks before I like did some other bad stuff, which was deeper in logic. And I chose hobo because it was the fastest one, and lo and behold, wow, I felt really bad actually because the early Dark World routing could have been so much better with the mirror in hand. I could have probably saved some time.
Yeah, you had that flute for probably like 30 or 40 more minutes than Julo did. So you did make up a ton of time that you lost with it not having that mirror there. But there were definitely times where we were seeing this go back and forth in the start of the seed. But once that hammer came up for you, you found it first. You found it like 4 or 5 minutes before Julo, and everything just kind of looped into place there.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I think also the hammer placement kind of evened it out again, because if the hammer was mirror locked, and I was relatively sure, I mean not sure, but I had a feeling the hammer would be mirror locked, so I felt pretty bad like doing all the mirror checks after finding it, because I basically had to run through the whole Dark World once again without boots, even though. So I'm actually glad that the hammer ended up in Ice Palace, because that's a location that probably both runners would last locate.
Yeah. And then the last thing that happened, Julo chose to go into Agnes Tower. I'm thinking it might have been a gamble. I don't know how Julo felt about being about how long it took him to find that hammer, but a little defensible. If you find your boots in GT, then you just go and get those 5 items. It didn't seem too bad at the time, but it ended up not being necessary.
Yes, actually, fun fact, I was also thinking about the same play, actually. So after Swamp, I'm not sure where the second Aga Tower key was. Might have been in Swamp, or maybe before that. After Swamp, there was like the decision you could do. You could either like just swim back to the pyramid, you spend time to walk to GT actually, or you could gamble on well being required, because you already have like both Aga keys, you're just boots away from it being in logic. And if you do Aga first, you basically get instant access to the pyramid and can go to a GT basically free. So you could save like one trip from Dark Shopping Mall to the pyramid. And I was considering it actually, but then I thought, nah, not sure where those boots are. I'm just not gonna risk it, because it could be a huge time sink for no gain. So I ended up not doing it, luckily.
Yeah, it worked out for you. It's a 2-0 for you guys. Do you guys have your third game on the schedule?
Yes, I believe Gamachu is gonna race Orange at 11 p.m. EST tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is actually going to be on this channel as well. So that is scheduled for tonight.
Looks like that one's going to be hard Randomizer, so definitely going to be a fun one to watch tonight, 11:10 p.m. Eastern. We'll see if this ends up going to a fourth and a fifth game then, but you got to feel good up 2-0.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice lead, and I think we're planning to try to keep that lead, but anything can happen, so we'll just take it as it comes. Alright, at this point I also want to say thank you for setting up the restream, for commentating, for tracking and for watching. And also thanks to Julo Ninja for like making time for me at an hour, which is like not really optimal for him. So I think he like had to change his sleeping schedule a little bit to accommodate for this race. So shoutouts to him again.
Yeah, I had to play him in the league earlier this season, and I was the one who had to accommodate his schedule, so I do know that pain. But yeah, thanks to him, thanks to you. Fun race to watch, and congratulations again. Also like to give a shout out and thanks to our trackers today, keeping us up on our toes and keeping us aware of everything going on. Daruk and Professor Pixie taking care of those for us. And Sniper, Radical Sniper 99, thanks for joining me at the booth. It's been a real fun one today.
Yeah, enjoyed it, James. In terms of the schedule for the rest of today, there is actually a race currently happening over on SpeedGaming. Spoilers versus WJPDTB. Also a hard Randomizer race. We got Dr. Marty Zero versus Willard J. Bradley. And then at 9:10 tonight, over also on SpeedGaming, we have Pug Trio versus Error 216, a hard MC shuffle with Andy versus Blaine. So still some great races on the docket for today in the Invitational League. I don't know if we have any Open League matches today.
Let's look at the schedule and see if anything's going on.
Today we don't have any Open League. Tomorrow is our next Open League matchup. In the morning, actually, 10 a.m. Get it. But we've got I believe that is a game 4 between In Rod We Trust and Last Locationeers. Swordless between BSJ and Zen Arcane. And then it looks like Sunday we do have a game 5 with Bottles on Empty versus Blue Balls United. So
yeah, co-op retro. That's one I'm gonna want to watch. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the big thing here, if you haven't been watching the Open League, is these series do decide teams that will be joining the Invitational League next season. So do keep an eye on those as we enter the final stages of the Open League.
Yeah, that's going to be it for us today. Like I said, if you like Jesse said, if you want to check out some more racing, SpeedGaming, the main channel, got some action going on, and we'll catch you next time here on SpeedGaming 2 and the rest of the SpeedGaming channels for more league action. So for Radical Sniper 99, I am James FNX. Have a good afternoon or evening wherever you're at, and see you next time.